Hey guys, Luna here, and welcome back to Pesterquest. Last we left off, we had just made friends with the miracle worker. You got really high with Gamzee, maybe a little too high. And now, on to Volume 6, Route 2, The Scourge of the High Seas, Vriska. And some, potential trigger warnings of cannibalism, animal, mind control, arachnids and insects in detail, gore, death, parental mistreatment, gender identity, discomfort, strangulation, dysphagia, stimming, United States politics, historical, and panic attacks. And obviously the adult language, violence, and innuendos. So, let's get into it, shall we? This is definitely going to be probably a harder one to get into it. The Scourge of High Seas. V6R2. So, let's quickly just make a note of this. So, V6R2. Yes. Your latest narrative jaunt has left you walking down on an Ontarian shore. The two moons light up on this beach cove in shades of pink and lime green, which is probably really pretty. And their reflections playing at the shimmering patterns in the gentle waves. It would be beautiful if not for the haggard, monstrous gulls picking the flesh from dead and prudently rotting fish. Impunely rotting fish, crabs, and even one of their own. Keep your distance, as they eye you warily, gore on their chipped beaks. They are not potential friends. Everywhere you jump, serpentedly seems to guide your hand. But would it be right to call your fortune? The night is cool, almost cold. You kick a pure white seashell down the beach. It skips graciously in the dark gray sand. You've brought friends together and just barely began to master this tremendous and strange new power. But no, you think, you are not fortunate. As you walk alone on the dark down the sands that still radiating stored up heat from the searing day, you feel a pang. Something is missing. You know you've felt this way before, but you can't place when. You have a gulf within you, the width and breadth of this ocean, an isolation so plain, so true, that it seems impassable, invincible. You step on a weird bug and you don't even care. I'm gonna double check to make sure I have the volume up. Okay, yeah, I do have the volume up. Just there's no music. Yes, you are filled with a sudden, almost comforting conviction. Nothing you have done on your journey has really made a difference. If you can pick up and put down the lives of these alien weirdos and human weirdos and shake them like an Etch-a-Sketch when things go wrong, are you really accomplishing anything? Or are you just building shitty castles in the sand with flimsy plastic implements, castles that won't mean shit for nothing when the tide rises? You've decided you're a creature of solitude. You are a rock. You are an island. From now on, you walk alone. How does that song go? You walk... I don't remember. Here on this lonely road, walk alone. I don't know. If someone knows the reference, I'm sure someone will comment on that. We rode the only road I've ever known. We walk alone. There may be an angled figure crouched with terrible posture on a dock ahead, sure. That figure may be sitting next to an intriguing-looking Moor chip, yes. But surely one glimpse of a potential life to meddle in won't immediately make you fall off the wagon back to life and a near-end friendship, right? She has a robot arm. Oh, sweet, new friends. Damn it. You amble over to this girl hunched on the dock like this stupid thembo friend slut you are, doing an acrobatic fucking prostrate off the wagon. She hasn't seen you yet, so you watch her like a creep. She's leaning over a complicated pile of papers, erasing boxes and filling them in again. Every once in a while, she pauses to roll various dices. As soon as you take one step onto the wooden deck, she looks up and jumps with a feline quickness into a standing position, looking immediately ready for a fight. Whoa, what are you? Raise a hand in a pathetic sort of innocent and weak motion, which for you is basically any motion. Wait a second. You're that weirdo that was bothering Canny, aren't you? Yep, you're exactly that weirdo, and now you're here saying hello to a new stranger and maybe making a new friend. Isn't that great? Great. Just what I need. More muddling. I know I'm the coolest, but I'm kind of busy right now. Big campaign tonight. Dude, you're so good at campaigns, you tell her. You're all about hope and change. You hope AI gore, hang a chad, type of Conan and Tyler too. What are you even saying? Don't call me dude or anything else for that matter. You mean you're down to help? Maybe you're her campaign manager? I'm the captain here, buddy. But as it happens, I'm currently all out of the first mates. Wanna be swabby? Oh, that sounds like a boat thing. Yes? So that's why the boat's there. What are all these papers on the ground for? The campaign, dumbass. They're the character sheets for me, the greatest petticoat gift ever to sail the 8 seas. One of our friends was raised in a cave and she still knows what flight is. Well, you can stop over to the cave and ask her then. Her look of indifference is immediately replaced with a tilt of the head as though your threat to leave caught her attention. Ew, not unless you smell like cat piss for weeks and get high off second-hand nip. Look, it's simple. Pick a name and roll up some stats. For example, I am Marquise Spinneret Mindafang. I am the scourge of the highest seas, an undefeated champion of naval flarp. My colors on the horizon turn even high-bloods into sniveling cowards. Say that sounds really cool, but aren't troll names only $6 long? I mean, you've only met a couple before this, but for some reason you have really strong sense for the rules here. I'm in character here. Try to keep up. You guess that explains the outfit. She seems really into this. Maybe weirdly into this. It's all a bit intense, isn't it just a game? Flipe is more than just a game. I'm the best there is. How about this? If you agree to make a character and sail with me, I'll tell you my real name. You look at her elaborate costume over at her ship and decide, why the hell not? You've already made your friend bed and now you have to sleep in it. Not that you're going to sleep or anything. That would be patently ridiculous. This is basically Dungeons and Dragons. So okay, let's walk you through this. You should be flattered that a master gamer like me is giving you the full tutorial. I had to read the books myself with no help. The first thing you do is roll values for each of the 10 dice risata. Simple, right? She pops out a huge bag of dice out of her Silex, starting with handing you groups at a time. Roll 2d4 for the dice rostrum, thrown over the Empress, and you get 2 ones. 66 for the dice rostrum, conductor's sand, and 6 fucking snake eye therapy from the wood on the dock. Wow, you're really bad at this. Take the insult lying down. You gotta hand it to her. When she's right, she's right. And she's right, so she's right. Finish all 26 dice rolls required on this game and we got the lowest on each one. What rotten luck. I've never seen anyone get rolled this low before. I didn't even know you could get a 0. It's okay, we can save this by putting stats in the right places. She flips to another page of the player's handbook that shows you the attributes of Flarp. For some reason, you cannot read them, despite just arriving on this planet for the first time. Let's see here. Workstation. It looks like here are the stats, and then there's the R&D. There's the there's the full range, and then there's the average, and then there's the variation. Kind of curious. So, more fluctuate based on your real physical. Summing a stat pad is the first thing you bring character flaps. Let you know both the proficiencies and abilities, thing which actively determine your class. Right. So your Vim, Grit, Portrait, and Grace combined with real life vitals to match your HP. Wait, real life vitals? Your body is weak and shitty. Is this some kind of hardcore game? Is this the most dangerous game? If you die in the game, do you die in real life? Yeah? You didn't know? The sheer combined shock of what you don't know could kill an elephant quicker than Thomas Edison trying to discredit an immigrant. You get to roll again when you level up, so you won't be pathetic forever. I mean, if you survive. But with a scourge like me at your side, you're on easy street. I'm jealous of you, really. You gulp and nod. Okay, let's finish this. The Marquise grins. Her lipstick smears a bit when her fangs jut out. You think that's just how it is for trolls wearing lipstick, but Kanye's was perfect. She pulls out an 8-ball out of her pocket and smashes it, and suddenly and violently on the dock. You jump at the noise. She looks at you, pitifully, and then decides not to make fun of you. Out of the wrecked plastic sophisticated sphere, a gross fucking grubby worm appears. It's like the size of a wiener dog. It's wiggling. You see it's pulsating. Covered in the blue-tinted family recreation water, once inside the 8-ball, the grub's swollen opposor glistens. It extends to deposit a massive brood of eggs, each glowing in the center, slowly pulsating LED lights. This is so fucking gross. You look away and dry heave a bit, leaning off the dock. So far, this game sucks ass. Ugh. Don't tell me you've never seen a game grub before. You can tell you've never seen a game grub before, and maybe she should give a CW before she makes you watch a thing that includes glistening oposifer. What? Oh shit, yeah, that's pretty gross here. You bring up the pause menu, click on warnings. Give it a read before making an informed decision. Haven't those been there the whole time? Vriska taps her foot impatiently while you fuck around in the game client. For some reason, seeing a full list of content warnings isn't easing your anxiety about what's ahead. It definitely was not for me. It reminds you of something that once made you really angry. In fact, especially worried about the gore and death tags, maybe you should just peace out of this. There's basically no harm whatsoever if you eat yourself out of this one. It might save you drowning for good measure. Not that flirtation with dangerous ends is exactly right for you. I'm going to select peace out for those of you who don't want to watch this. You know what? You're not feeling up to tabletop gaming today. Close your eyes and feel yourself sink into another narrative. Wait. You lost. Aww. Aww. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, just to remind everyone that the potential trigger warnings of this is since there was a lot, is animal cannibalism, mind control, arachnids and insects in detail, death, parental mistreatment, gender and identity discomfort, dysphagia, stimming, United States politics of the historical kind, and panic attacks. So, just a second reminder for those. So, I'm gonna even write down her name. I'm gonna play Florb. You know what? You're an affirmed reader and a prepared gamer. You got this. You ask Vriska what's next. She points to one of the glowing, blinking eggs, which is hatching a pixelated-looking back. It flaps its way into the air with a high-pitched squeak. It starts glowing and projecting a hologram image of a torch. Blech. Alright, all you have to do is assign your dice roll on your attributes scroll. What? Pick your best and worst stat. Your top 2 stats determine your starting class. There's a lot of classes, but I'm already the best one. Alright, now let's simple enough. Drag attributes into the dice roll you want to utilize for them. This decision is permanent, so make sure you're satisfied before pressing finalizing and closing them. Oh, we actually... Oh, okay, so we actually get to choose our class. So Podium would run 0, Tribute of the Heiress, Foolish Lectern, Big Water Soapbox, Show 'em Workstation, so Box, Revenant Angels, Conductor Stand, Bodas, Tiny Attribute, Journey of the Emperors. Okay, so Vim, your Vigor, primary component of HP. High Vim makes you more durable. Low Vim makes you more dangerous when you're vulnerable. Rascality, your ability to get away with mischief. Vascularity is your complete matrix defense. Dexterity, measure of your fitness, paired with grace for intricate tasks. Fortitude, your suaveness and hard-boiled credential, important for any action that requires charm or charisma. Grace, your ability to maintain pose and smoothness, paired with dexterity. Appetite, your hunger and enthusiasm. High app makes you more effective in combat, while low app improves your passive healing. Grit isn't just for men, but it helps you lift safes or keep your cool when you're wounded. Your hubris, your sheer confidence. High hub lets you overrule your clouder more successfully, while low hub increases your compliments matrix offense. Leverage is foundation of balance and power between clouders. Imaginations. Inventiveness, highly useful for all classes. So, I'm gonna put this as an 8. I'm gonna if my health at a 9. Dexterity measure. Let's see here. I like passive healing, so I'm gonna put that as my lowest. I'll put my grits at a 4, I guess. Rascal. I think I'm gonna go dexterity, current class, combined with high grace. 5 in charisma, 3 in rascal. Oh, so this actually is. I'm just re-rolling a few randoms a few times, so I'm gonna get. So give me a second. I do want low app, decent health. I think I'll do. I don't remember where I put this initially. Out there. Yeah, sure, I'll go with this. I honestly wish I knew what the different classes were, but I don't know, so I'm gonna go with this one. So, oh. Yeah, you're too high. Oh, wait, damn it. Set, decent health, measure finesse, grace, hide that, low app, rascal, get away with mischief is pretty important, or successfully, I don't. I don't remember. Gosh darn it! That was there. Definitely that there. You guys probably can skip ahead when you see me done. Let's save. Not there. Oh, good. There you go. Finalized. Your two high stats are Grace and Image. Your starting class will be Pablo Pastoral. As a sprightly spellcaster, you'll be dancing rings around your opponents. Defeat to the beat. Max level Petticoat Seagrift and the level 1 Pablo Pascu. Not exactly the meta strat. You're lucky. You're paired with the number 1 game on Ontario. Before I can carry you to victory, just need one more thing. There's more of this bullshit? What now? Is a giant sandworm gonna poke its head out of the sand and puke up some more fucking game mechanics that will be described in excruciating narrative detail? Quit being so dramatic. Your character needs a name. Oh, a name? Yeah, I have one of those, though. I told Jada already, but man, you're not feeling comfortable with it right now for some reason. Why is thinking to yourself a distinct being with an identity and historically feeling so uncomfortable? What's wrong with you? Might as well just make up a character name. What is a fun character name that I could do? Alright, I have a whole bunch of character names I have on hand, but I want to go with something Starlightish. So how about Marquise welcomes you aboard her ship Celestia Flare. As soon as you confirm your name, the other egg starts scrunching and cracking into more flying holograph biotech projectors of various shapes and sizes. Moth and dragonflies and lightning bugs zipping off in the distance. Vriska pages all her various books and character sheets, pushes up her eye patch, glasses up the bridge of her nose, and you clamber up to the gangplank of her ship, which you see has a name painted on the side in Cerulean script as you follow her. Brigantine. Here, hold this. Vriska hands you a rope and you hold onto it, keeping the mainsail rolled up as she scurries to and fro, aft and bow, across the deck of the ship, making adjustments. You watch her try and tie a double bowline, but struggle with the dexterity of her mechanical fingers. Swearing in frustration, under her breath, you politely look away and try and make eye conversation. You ask for her end of the bargain. What? Name. You made a character. She tells you your name. That's the deal. Which I think is pretty funny. That's the deal. She secures some of the rigging and stomps back over to you. You haven't really made a character until you're in costume. Is it fit you're not already fresh? Perhaps even freshest? Yeah. She dumps an extra outfit out of her inventory, looking almost exactly like an earlier version of hers, smaller, with a bit more amateur stitching. You put on the big bridge coat and you feel super badass. She looks at you, tilts her head to evaluate, and then grabs a jaunty hat, feather and all, from her silex and pops onto your head. Nice. Hi, my name's Vriska. Vriska Skirtshred. Don't you forget it. Vriska Skirtshred, or the Marquise, satisfied with her preparations, snatches the rope from you and lets it go, unfurling the mainsail. She practically skips to the captain's wheel, ready to steer the brigantine out of the harbor. Real name basis is one step closer to friendship, though for a moment you already feel like you got told that name already. Your brain is messed up enough without remembering stuff that maybe didn't happen in canon, if canon is even a thing that means something anymore. Unsettling meta-textual introspection is interrupted by Vriska shouting, "Roll for initiative!" You hear the buzz of the projector bugs boarding your ship, and soon 4 frisking holograms appear on the main deck, looking like lurching zombie trolls. You already hear dice rattling on the deck, and you look over at her to cheat and figure out what you need to roll. Alright, I'm starting with an 18. Looks like you got a subtract modifier 19. Guess you go first, Celestia Flare. This is it, LARPing time. You look down at the piece of paper with your abilities on it, ready to cast magic missiles or Bigsby's grasping hand or some shit. You pick the top. You pick the top attack from the lists. It's your special class ability. You channel the spirit of Pablo Bascul and point straight at one of the holographic zombies and yell that you're casting Piscan Pumblerance. You grab a d20 and blow it on your hand. You're a Lady Luck, no snake eyes. Other gambling terms, whatever. You let the a cook, however the heck you pronounce that, of the tabletop destiny drop through the air, awaiting the results of the beta breath. You get a 2 and miss. God damn it. Vriska laughs out loud. Check out a real gamer does it. This shows you how a real game does it. Over the course of this and the next 4 hologram encounters of ballooning complexity, tedious difficulty, and word count, you just roll so many goddamn dice and keep track of so many goddamn stats. You're overwhelmed, bewildered, and tired of doing math in pencil by the time the last squid-themed holo monster dies. You worried about the danger of this game before, but it seems like the only way you're gonna die today is from fucking boredom. Then you spot it. This spooner painted all in black emerges from the fog. You shout to Vriska that there's a ship on the port horizon. Vriska looks right. Does she not know the difference between port and starboard? You point in the proper direction and she gives you a mischievous grin of hers. Now it's time for the real action! We've entered the PvP enabled zone! She puts aside her character sheet and dice, drawing up a blue saber. Jilted in one hand, the ship's reeling in another. That's the Rue, the ship of the Dreadclaw Apelia. Top of the naval flarp leaderboards. She's got a whole crew on that boat. But she's just another rich sea dweller with hired help, and she's been too scared to face me. Vriska has pointed your ship straight at the Rue, and you've picked up speed. You can make out a Trogu with finned ears and gaudy purple outfit that you've described as a sexy pirate Halloween costume from the world's most bourgeois party city, Dreadclaw Apelia. It's absolutely garnished compared to Vriska's more Namacore approach RP activewear, but dressed much more humbly than her and the captain are a bunch of lowbloods standing behind her, clutching shitty rusty swords and shaking. So let's bring the fight to her! You're not slowing down, you're pointed straight at the enemy hull. Vriska shears your ship directly into the well-appointed schooner that you've struggled to keep your feet at the shock of impact, which knocks the violent blood and frightened thralls to the deck of the Rue. She yells over the din of the horrified wood-on-wood screeching. Hey, Swabby! Wanna be really good at sword fighting? You look at her with stars in your eyes. Yes, you do want to be really good at sword fighting. You nod eagerly, and she and tosses you her blue-loaded saber, which you catch eagerly. Oh no. Vriska grins, puts her eyes to her temple, and squints with her one good eye. The 7 red dots on her prosthetics seem to smear and blur as your vision loses focus. You manage well to this point as your first mate of the brigade, but your sea legs seem to give out on you all at once. You drop the sword you were just given and clasp to the deck. You try to tell her something's wrong, but your mouth lolls open and drools a bit. A dull pain gains a sharp and sudden clarity. It feels as though 8 spirally legs are crawling on your head. No, in your head. Each footfall feels more like a knife cutting through butter. At some point, all sensation slips into nothing, and you follow the sword to the ground to sleep. What the fuck? Wake up, you moron! You don't hear that. You don't wake up. The salt and swell of the ocean gives way to the rustling of alien trees. No longer do you hear the scream of gulls following your ship, waiting for the corpses of gore to tumble overboard. It felt so peaceful. Consciousness returns to you, and its first present is the discovery that you're face down in slightly wet dirt. Some got in your mouth. You spit it out and sit up, brushing the muck off your flarp costume. Wait, it's not a flarp costume. That's a hoodie with a Serlin symbol. Different symbol on it. It's fitting, as though it belonged to a friend. Half memories swim in your mind as you take it in the scene. Just as familiar as your clothing. A stump sitting in the clearing between trunks of a purple tree at Tyrian First. A harpoon sticks out of it. The stump would typically fill you with unease, an aura of death and defeat, but a squirrely silhouette cuts through the darkness, and step further into the clearing and you feel your heart lift. Hey, it's my buddy from Homestuck! Boulder! Sitting there on the stump, kicking bare feet back and forth, tilting her head to the side and smiling impishly, is your friend Boulder Lamity. You remember her? You remember her! Psst! Has he seen you? It's a joke. I'm a figment of your imagination. Was expecting you the whole time. You pat the stump next to her in an invitation gesture and you sit down. You feel less adrift than you can ever remember. You tell her you missed her. Of course you did. You've gotten yourself into a real mess, dear friend. You ask all your old friends sitting next to you. They flip through your mind clear as day, as though the memories were never locked away in the first place. How are Tagore and Kahak doing? Has she run into Adira again? What's going on in the neighborhood? Do folks miss you? That last question claps a wry smile into a genuine crestfallen expression. They tell you that for sure. Seen for yourself just how much you can do. There's a whole other disturbance in this neighborhood, and it has his nefarious fingerprints all over it. It's almost like you're preparing for this. But I try to stay one step ahead, and I remember what I'm fighting for. Do you? The question is arresting. What are you doing? Even with your memory clouded, you've just been bumbling into other people's stories, breaking things as you go. Well, there's nothing wrong with breaking things. It's like they say, sometimes you gotta compromise a few unfertilized cluck priest embryos in the name of a complete breakfast. Tell you haven't had a good breakfast in ages. One of the places you were at had swords in the fridge. Also, you absolutely have no idea what you're doing. You're going where the river takes you. But things are different now. There's a real power within you that you're just now realizing. The power to shape the river. It uses its waters to scour the lands as you please. Power even if he doesn't fully understand. You look down at your hands. Sitting next to her, you start to remember the green room, the story you've fallen into. You tell her there's so much broken and you have no idea how to fix it. You tell her you wish it was real, not just in your head. She knows what to do. She tilts her head again inquisitively. Am I though? Just in your head, I mean. This story is only broken if you accept that it is broken. If you think of the story as something to give you. But it's not. Puppet masters may try and tell you that the strings they are pulling are the only ones. As she says this, her head jerks back, oddly, but she continues whispering, calm as ever. Don't be afraid. Don't let anyone tell you that this story belongs to them. Not him, not anyone. You feel it too. You feel like the threads tug at your body, and feel hers even more. Limbs twitch and pull in a gruesome pantomime as more and more strings leap around her and disappear skyward. They nearly surround her completely, but you are powerless to resist. Paralyzed. It's for you. It's always been you. Remember, friend, the only question. She only manages to spit out formal words as she's swallowed up and tangled in a spider web of marionette strings, choked and broken. What will you do? The whole scene seems to melt away in searing green, and you are falling, dancing beneath the scrolled hands controlling you. He is here. He was already. The ticking of 1,000 clocks, exactly in time, echoes around you. Did you miss me? I seem to be on your mind. I'm flattered. It's no wonder you're thinking about me just after meeting one of my greatest disappointments. You really do spend too much time around willful little girls. It may start giving you ideas. Ideas of choice, of challenge. You're irrelevant because those holding the strings decided you're relevant, an observer. The show must go on, but don't make the mistake these little ingrates did. It can go on without you, the bits that really matter at least. What is that? Am I doing this? I'm afraid I'm not, darling. I don't even know to what you're referring. You see her at the edge of your eyes again. You try to keep Boulder's words in your mind as the strings squeeze the breath out of you. What will you do? Another voice seems to answer, from another place entirely. Scratchy and loud, it says, "Fix this!" You wake up. Cold sounds and draft greet you. Clearly open your eyes, memories of the dream already fading to wisps in your mind. You're in the cluttered bedroom, or cluttered wrist block that you've sure is Vriska's, based on the broken 8 balls scattered everywhere. You pick up yourself off the ground and trying to think about how you got here. You pass out on the brigantine. She must have brought you home, but where is she? You turn around and see a window. You look outside and see a dramatic scene below. Vriska is mind-controlling a group of thralls. One she must have won off the Dreadclaw while you were out cold. Now marching one by one toward a massive web. Perched in the web is a giant spider. Heaving, hulking, hungry. Vriska is about to feed the losers of the scheme to her luskus. Excuse me. You can't watch. Hide in a room and wait. Okay, holy shit. Vriska's luskus is a giant spider monster that eats children. That explains so much. Also raises a significant number of questions. that you're going to think about while not watching these kids get eaten. You look for something to distract yourself with. You spot a black raggedy book, much older than anything else in this room, with Vriska's symbol on the cover. You reach for it and open it up, flipping to a random page, and seeing like what looks like a journal scrawled in Cerulean, but not Vriska's handwriting from your character sheet. Looking inside the first page, you see the name Mindfang. You read and holy shit, you're very unsure this is appropriate for a young girl to be reading. You keep flipping through different parts and wow, it gets worse. Vriska's named her character after this? You lose yourself in the hate reading Mindfang's long stories about petty crime, dubious consent, and weirdly detailed descriptions of outfits of a woman named Red Glare. You stare surprised, then Vriska walks up to the stairs, hands in pockets, looking at the ground. She doesn't even look at you before sitting down on the floor across from you, cross-legged and staring 1,000 yards into the distance. She rocks back and forth, hands still in her pockets. You go to give her a reassuring pat on the back, and as soon as you touch her metal shoulder, cold even through her shirt, she turns to you with a jumping glare and hisses like a cat before facing away again. You get the message. She takes an 8-ball out of her inventory again and then savagely, beautifully beats it on the stone floor of her room until it's nothing but shards in a puddle. The two of you sit. She occasionally picks up through the debris of the 8-ball and rocks, clenching and unclenching her fists. But as the minutes passes, her breathing slows bit by bit. You don't say a word or bring up what happened. She's the one who talks first. Earlier you seemed like confused about why I care so much about playing a character. She thumbs the dog-eared edge of the worn piece of paper in her sharp clawed hand. Staring at the wall, she's still got blood on her jacket, blood that almost makes you retch with the memory of spidery mandibles devouring your spoils. One glimpse of you makes you sick. What doesn't you? Hundreds. I mean, it seems obvious to me that the Marquise is the greatest and coolest character ever made. But I've been her for too long, so it's sort of like a part of me. Everybody's throwing shapes every day and acting like something, right? But most people are so boring. They don't dress up, they don't act. They're so obsessed with being the exact kind of troll they were yesterday. Maybe you don't have to be the same. Maybe you can go on Message Bird and try being someone new and find out you like it. Maybe it's being nice called something your Luskus doesn't call you. And meet online people who only ever knew you as a girl online, or on the other ship who's like the super badass and good at things. Come on, why don't you tell me you've never wanted to be someone else? You've edged a bit closer to her during this rant, and looking at the sheet of paper in her hand, the spreadsheet looking of series of boxes she's filled with red ink. Name Marquise Spinneret Mindthing. Class, Pedagogy Secret. Gender, F. Levels, all of them. She's doodled all over the margins art of her captioning ships and swinging swords and drinking out goblets. Have you ever wanted to be someone else? The question makes you uncomfortable. Just pondering who you are now fills you with unease. Like playing a character, filling out a sheet like this for yourself seems impossible. A piece of paper is representing all your physical and mental attributes. Blank canvas, the common outlines defining the boundaries of every conceivable personality. You don't even know how you fill in the gender box. You've been busy making friends, okay? She suddenly turns on you, and there's a desperate kind of crazy intensity in her good eye. Like her gaze will burn you. You're gonna leave, aren't you? No, yeah, of course. Everybody does. Do you think I like this? I used to have a partner. She didn't like it either, but she helped anyways, like you. I guess except she didn't puke when she saw blood. Oh, and also not like you at all. She made rules, she loved rules, and I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not like big on those. Gambling Queen broke all the rules all the time, and that's just what you gotta do to survive. To make the voice stop haranguing me. And like, she heard her Luskus in her head too, but she didn't need anything from her. What's that even like? I've got to be the best. I have to. I didn't get all the levers just to look them on the sheet. You saw me out there. It's dangerous. She tried to kill me and left me all alone. And then I got even because that's what you have to do to backstabbers. But I still don't feel even. It doesn't bother her. Nobody ever cares. They just leave and move on, and I'm still stuck on this stupid world. How are people mad at me for putting losers out of their fucking misery? This planet fucking sucks. Oh boy, that's a lot. You let her finish her triad. She looks straight at you for the whole thing. You gently ask about her morality. Who did you just befriend? Would you feel about her saying she's alone? You see a lot of thoughts flicker through her head and see a lot of expressions dance across her face. She settles into a look that like she's smelling something's off. People always want shit from other people. Sometimes you know somebody and you can't describe like what your whole deal is. You're supposed to grow up with these ideas about what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to be. You get handed down these strict categories, tables in your player's handbooks. You read the stories or journals or whatever they say. This is mate sprite, you're this about them, and you have a morality that meddles with you because you're just too broken for her and she just wants and wants and wants and wants. Or you get told, oh, this is what a rival looks like, and then you look at your black date and it's always an absolute repulsive, slimy eel who always wants you to kiss him and you? Man, I really could upgrade in that department. But then there's someone that comes along and none of that stuff makes sense to you. You just like being with her. It's not even like you just feel like shit makes more sense with her. I would say it's not like you have this voice in your head saying you're not good enough all the time, but she makes it quiet, but I actually do have a voice in my head saying I'm not good enough. God, I'm not explaining this right. What I'm trying to say is, yeah, there's a doomsday device. Everyone leaves, nobody cares. We're all waiting for a gallop to war. And look, I'm ready, I'm the best at war. It's just a big flurb. But I'd rather have a plan B or plan 8. Give Vriska a moment to breathe. Don't give her a reassuring touch on the back, remembering her jump and hiss when he tried that last. She looks like a feral cat, this girl. Tangled, greasy hair droops over her shoulders that are always hunched up, like something would come for her throat if she exposed it to anyone. You wonder if she would ever let her shoulders down around the girl she talked about. An ex, perhaps? Of course she did. You wonder if she ever will again. You hear pissed in your ear and a squirrely little laugh, and then suddenly remember a green room that you've had this thought before somehow. You ask her if the question that's been consuming you, or more accurately, not consuming you. Were you left up here when everyone else got fed up to the spider? She tenses up immediately when you ask this, and takes some time to clench her fists, then releases them. Some people are off limits. She has to eat, but she doesn't eat my friends when I bring her enough food. And you're counted as off limits? You're one of her friends? Oh my god, don't get a big head about it. I wouldn't let her eat Kakarot either, and he's not like my BFFs or for life or anything. Plus you help me out, that's the pirate code. Plus, Fussy Fangs would be mad. Must be hard separating trolls into 2 classes, friends and food, like that. Must be hard and nobody understands. I mean, that's how it works here. Everybody's got someone to kick down on. Except for us bloods, but them's the breaks. Somebody's gotta be on the bottom to keep the whole shebang afloat. Killing people lower down than you is what all the school feeds say you're supposed to do. To get ready for a life of space war against, well, it's mostly seems like they just kill more lowbloods. That's all it ever is. My ancestor. She looks left and right, so she's going to be overheard. Then leans in smirkingly. She sounds like she's letting you on a secret. My ancestor Mindfang. She sailed around being the terror of the high seas for a while, but she fell in with a group that was going to do something about all that. Bunch of weirdos led by a mutant who wanted a revolution. I always wanted to be like her. I liked using her name more than my own for a while, dressing up like her, learning to sail. But I always ended up back here with a pile of corpses. That's having a luskus, right? Sometimes you don't get to do what you want to do. Jacks to me, you know? Only stops when she's full. Always whispering in my head. Saying I was fatter than her. Saying I deserve all the things that happened to me. Even when I was bleeding out on the floor. Jesus. Look at this cold, cluttered, uncomfortably drafty room. Whatever happened to your face and arm must have happened here. You see a broken figurette silhouette on the wall. You look back at Vriska, and you know what she is. For all the bombastic insults killing, you're looking at a survivor. You're looking at someone who did nothing wrong. Remember Dave's carefully crafted defensive persona. Remember Rose eating oatmeal for dinner in a dafty, brutalist mansion. Jade, in the shadow of a volcano, raising herself. Your world can be brutal as this one. Earth makes survivors too, and you made a difference for them one at a time. All of that nihilistic bullshit earlier feels like it was shouted at you by some meddling voice, someone holding the strings. Fuck that. You're going to be a goddamn hero today. You're gonna make friends with this whole fucking planet if you have to, and if you're going to make it better or at least less of a complete dumpster. Tell Vriska you'll be right back and sprint down the spiral staircase. Keep running, pumping your beautiful legs straight out the door of Vriska's giant hive. You don't have a color inside the lines of someone else's story. This is your motherfucking narrative now. You take a leap when you reach the cliff and barrel over, falling fast, wind whipping past your face as you tumble through the air toward the giant white spider. A leap of not of faith, but of hope. You crash into the carapace of Vriska's terrible murder mon hard, cracking it with a piercing shriek at the same time you zap hundreds of feet above the mouth of the volcano on Jade's Island and kick off the back of the spider, leaving the giant troll gorge arachnid tumbling into the lava as you zap back to Arteria, back to Vriska's respect block. You appear behind her. She doesn't notice you. She's looking out her window, down at the empty web, with a shocked expression. She's looking at the windows. Her sudden silent turns slowly into a grin, less generous than you would describe as shit-eating. Holy shit, Celestia Flare, you actually did something. Hell fucking yeah. Let's do it. Now we get to see if what happens when we intervene. Holy shit, this was supposed to be a game. These are innocent kids that are getting fed to a fucking spider, and that's all because of your definitely essential contributions to Vriska's victory. This is so messed up. Games don't cause violence, you think? As you rush down the stairwell, they can't. Vriska's going to be discredited an entire generation of games and add fuel to the fire of anti-gaming activism with this kind of behavior. Oh, and also kill some kids. That's like normal Atarian stakes, though. You gotta defend the integrity of Fortnite. That is much more important, obviously. You rush out of the late night air, too late to save a tranquilized mind control olive blood from being torn asunder. Vriska's luscious holds a troll boy in her forelegs, pitapals tearing through clothing and however the heck you pronounce it, tearing into gray flesh, feeding a winding intestine into her mouth. You feel like you're going to yards. You have no idea what you're doing, standing out here alone against a giant monster and this gaggle of mind-controlled prowlers, but you gulp down some air and yell, "Stop!" Vriska turns to you, and she doesn't look like she's doing a lot better, frankly. She's got a similarly sick expression on her face, but something in her eyes is dead, resigned. Her expression crumbles into a scowl. What the fuck are you doing? She squints at her one eye in pain like there's a voice screaming inside her head. I know, okay? I know! I'm dealing with it. She steps up towards you and sees a cerulean appear in one time between her fingers. The dice are sparkling with cold blue flames. You suddenly feel as though you're going to have a very, very bad time. First, you fall asleep on me like a weenie and I have to fight the last encounter all on my own. Then I carry you back to safety even though we just met. You owe me. Turn around and go back. Now. Look up past her, up at the giant spider. The awful noise of squelching has stopped. 8 eyes are trained on you, blinking out of order. A spattered palette of multicolored blood is smeared all over her savouring mouth. There are 7 trolls still standing beside her, mindless, mouth lolling. Next. You don't turn around. You don't go back. You stand your new ground, unarmed, without a plan. Surely your new friend will see how wrong this is. Vriska looks hurt for a moment, betrayed, but the same glare settles back on her face. You think you're being the big hero stopping this dangerous bitch, right? Happy as a benevolent musculosk about your little protagonist moment. You're being stupid. You don't understand what's happening here. What I have to do. You can't fix this. Nobody can. So now you're just a little weenie who thinks they're here and I'm the villain. So sure, I'll play ball. I'll be exactly what you want. Oh no. She tosses the dice on the ground. Baroness restrains. The dice close with a blue flame as they tumble to a stop. An ethereal whip materializes and snaps around your ankles. You are dragged dizzling fast toward the spider's web. Friction of your ass on the rocky cliff tears the butt off your Flype's costume, exposing your delicate cheeks to chafing. Your greatest asset! But things get far worse that you are flung directly to the clutches of the horrific arachnid. The fangs of Vriska's luscus pierce your skin and pump you full of numbing venom that causes everything to fade to black and static numbness. Which is good because she's beginning to eat you alive. It's also good because you can't see or hear her, a little girl sniffling a sniffle, holding herself with crossed arms, one mechanical and rocking back and forth, watching another friend consumed by this chaos that never leaves her. Great work, hero, you got bored. That was definitely different from what I was expecting. Well, I hope you guys have a good day, night, week, month of your lives. And may forever guide your path, forever it might lead you into the future. Bye-bye, everyone.